Insect reproductive system. First see the male reproductive system. Male reproductive system consists of a paired gonads called as testes. Each testis composed of number of testicular tubes which are enclosed in a thin layer of epithelial cells. And these epithelial cells supply required nutrients for the sperm production from the hemolymph. Each testicular tubes joins and opens into this vas deferens. If you look at the posterior part of the vas deferens, that is enlarged, which form a sperm storage organ that is called as seminal vesicle. This seminal vesicle helps in temporary storage of sperm. And each vas differentia join and opens into a common ejaculatory duct. The duct opens into the aedeus or penis. A pair of glands, that is accessory glands, arised from the posterior part of this vas deferens. So this accessory glands produces seminal fluid and spermatophores, which helps in smooth discharge of the sperm. Spermatophores means sperms are released in the form of small pockets. And the process of production of sperms in the testes, this process is called as spermatogenesis. So let's look at the process involved in spermatogenesis. Usually germ cells will be there. The germ cells divide to form these spermatogonia, and these spermatogonia divide mitotically to form spermatocytes, and each spermatocytes undergo two meiotic division to produce spermatids, and from the spermatids it forms sperm cells or spermatozoa. The process of formation of spermatozoa or sperm cells from these spermatids, this process is called as spermiogenesis. That means the process of formation of sperm from the spermatids, this process is called as spermiogenesis. Whereas the process of production of sperms from the germ cells is called as spermatogenesis. That is, the whole process is called as spermatogenesis. Let's look at the female reproductive system. Each female reproductive system consists of a pair of gonads called as ovaries. Each ovary consists of number of germ tubes called as ovarioles. These are the ovarioles in which egg production takes place. And the number of ovarioles vary with the insects. So if you look at in aphids, only one functional ovariole is present in aphids, whereas maximum number of ovarioles present in termites, that is more than 2000 ovarioles. And if you look at the part of the ovarioles, so these are all the different parts of the ovarioles. Each ovariole is differentiated into 4 regions. First one is terminal filament, that is it's just like a suspensory ligament of the each ovariole. And next one is germarium. It is an active site of oogenesis where it gives rise to germ cells, nutritive cells and follicle cells. Whereas vitellarium, where the development and maturation of the oocyte takes place in vitellarium. Please remember, the maturation and development of the oocytes takes place in vitellarium. And last one is pedicel. It is just like a stalk of the ovariole, so which provide passage for the egg. The passage of egg from the ovariole into the oviduct, this process is called as ovulation. That is movement of or passage of eggs from the each ovariole into the oviduct. This process is called as ovulation. And here each stalk, the pedicel open into the tube called as lateral oviduct, this one. which acts as temporary storage of eggs, and each lateral oviduct which opens into the this median oviduct. And posteriorly, if you look at the posterior part of the median oviduct, which is modified into sac-like structure called as genital chamber or vagina. And each genital chamber that consists of a pouch-like structure, this is called as bursa copulatrix. So this bursa copulatrix which serves as a copulatory pouch during mating. And if you look at here, this is a spermatheca where sperms are stored temporarily during the copulation and used for further fertilization. And apart from that, a pair of accessory glands are present. Accessory glands are also called as collateral glands. These collateral glands secretes sticky substances, and these sticky substances used for adhering the eggs to the substratum. So in female reproductive system, these ovaries are mesodermal in origin, whereas in males testes are mesodermal in origin. And here the spermatheca and accessory glands are ectodermal in origin. That's why reproductive system is both ectodermal and mesodermal in origin. Based on the presence or absence of trophocytes or nutritive cells, there are three types of ovarioles. The first one is panoistic ovariole, where trophocytes, that is nutritive cells, are absent here. So you can see this is egg, whereas here nerve cells are absent. So the oocytes are nourished by the secretion of these polycolor cells. So this type of ovarioles you can see in Arthroptera, Isoptera and Odonata. And next one is meriostic ovarioles, where nutritive cells or trophocytes are present. And if you look at the acrotropic or telotrophic ovarioles, in this case trophocytes are located at the apex of the ovariole, and they supply the nutrients or nutrients to the oocyte through the cytoplasmic strand. You can see here, these are the oocytes. So the nutrients are supplied through the cytoplasmic strand. So you can see this type of ovarioles in bugs and beetles. And last one is polytrophic ovariole, where trophocytes are in alternate with the oocytes. You can see here, these are the nerve cells and this is a oocyte. Again nerve cells and oocyte. So in trophocytes are in alternate with the oocyte. So you can see this type of ovariole in Lepidoptera and Hymenoptera. Next one is types of reproduction. In oviparity types of reproduction, usually the embryonic development takes place outside the mother body, that means after the oviposition. So you can see in majority of the insects, including moths and butterflies. Whereas in viviparity type, embryonic development takes place inside the mother body. There are four main types of viviparity are observed in different insects. First one is oviparity type, where the hatching of egg takes place just prior to or soon after oviposition. So you can see in thrips. Pseudoplacental reproduction means usually yolk deficit egg develops inside the mother, that is inside the genital tract of the female. So mother supplies nutrients to the developing embryo through a that placenta like tissue. This type of reproduction you can see in aphids. Adenotrophic viviparity means that poorly developed larva hatches inside the uterus of the mother and then feeds on milk gland secretion of the female. Usually female deposits fully grown larva and they undergo pupation immediately. So you can see this type of reproduction in tsetse flies and in some bat flies also. The last one last type of viviparity is hemophilic viviparity. That means embryos usually develops inside the female hemolymph. That embryo develop freely inside the hemolymph, and the nutrients are taken up by osmosis. So this is a form of internal parasitism. So you can see in Strepsiptera. And the third one is parthenogenesis. That means reproduction occur without fertilization. There are three types of that parthenogenesis you can see. Based on the occurrence, three types, like facultative parthenogenesis, that means not compulsory. You can see in bees. And second one is obligatory reproduction. That means it's compulsory form of parthenogenetic reproduction. You can see in stick insects. Cyclic reproduction means in one season it produces asexually and another season it produces sexually. So you can see this type of reproduction in aphids. Based on the sex produced, there are again three types. Arenotoky, that means it produces only males. You can see in bees. Dilaitoky, it produces only females. You can see in aphids. And Amphitoky, it produces both males and females in termites. And based on the haplodiploidy condition, you can see this type of condition in bees, where males are produced in haploid condition, whereas females are produced in diploid condition. And the fourth one is polyembryony. Polyembryony, it is a type of asexual reproduction where two or more individuals emerges from the single egg. This type of reproduction you can see in parasitic insects, especially Platygaster species. So these developing embryo that obtain the nutrients from the host hemolymph through the special membrane called as tropomnion. Through this membrane, the developing embryo receives the nutrients from the host hemolymph, because this Platygaster is a parasitic insect which lives inside the host body. And the last one is pedogenesis. That means immature stages are capable of reproduction. You can see larval pedogenesis in midges, whereas pupal pedogenesis in blister beetles. And very interesting type of mating system you can see in bedbugs, belongs to the family Simidae. So here male pierces the female abdomen with the help of sharp aedigus, and it releases the sperm directly into the hemolymph. The sperm diffuses through the female hemolymph and reaches the ovaries, this resulting in fertilization. The female part that receives the aedigus is located on the fourth abdominal sternum. So this receiving organ, aedigus receiving organ of the female, is called as mesospermales. It is also called as organ of Rebaga or Burles organ. And the last one is pre-embryonic development in insects. Pre-embryonic development means the development of embryos takes place inside the egg. These are all the steps involved in pre-embryonic development. After fusion of egg and sperm, usually the diploid nucleus divided into number of daughter nuclei, and each daughter nuclei is surrounded by energets. You can see these are all the energets, and these energets they again divide mitotically, which forms a layer of shell. So this layer of energet cells is called as this blastoderm. That is, it forms a layer of cell around the yolk cells. So this is called as blastoderm formation. And some energets involved in the formation of yolk cells. So those are called as vitalophagous. These are all the vitalophagous. The process of accumulation of yolk inside the egg. So this process is called as vitalogenesis. That is the process of accumulation of yolk. and later in the ventral region of the egg, if you look at here, the cells undergo cell division to form germ band. So this germ band later develops into embryo. And the next one is gastrulation, where the process by which mesoderm and endoderm are invaginated within the ectoderm, that leads to the formation of the complete germ layer. And the sixth one is blastokinesis. So once germ band is formed, that develops into embryo, and this embryo begins to move within the yolk. This phenomena is called as blastokinesis. And later the segmentation and appendages formation takes place. And here the organogenesis, that means the process by which three layers, that is ecto, endo and mesodermal layers, develops into internal organs of the insect. And finally that eclosion takes place, that means larva emerges from the egg due to intrinsic and extrinsic mechanisms. So this is about a reproductive system of insects. So if you have any doubts, please comment below the video. Thank you.